Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday evening, and welcome to Get the Skinny on Beachbody weekly coaching weekly chat. I kind of lost it there for a second, but I got it back. I got it back. Okay, so welcome, and we have a nice panel here this evening. As usual, we have Tom Birkenmeyer lending support. He's the wind beneath our wings.
Team player,
that's right. And we have Shelley Kraft, as usual, thank goodness. And Lisa Kent's in the house, whoop, whoop. And Amethyst Smith as well. And we're kind of sort of rocking an impromptu, wear your favorite band t-shirt themed evening. So Shelley, who have you got on?
Live.
I
love
live. I'm rocking Aerosmith.
I would have guessed you would have had an Aerosmith shirt on, actually. So
I have so many Aerosmith shirts. It's like crazy.
I have King Diamond on.
I would have guessed you had King Diamond on.
Right. Amethyst, were you able to locate a rock and roll t-shirt?
I don't have any.
Oh.
I don't have any rock t-shirts either. This is a heavy metal t-shirt.
Okay,
Thank you
whatever.
very much.
It's music, band, people that play music.
Okay.
But anyway.
Let's band together.
Yeah, whatever. I thought you said we were a team.
Let's band it together.
Thank you. All right, and this evening we thought we would kind of have kind of do a round robin and talk about a variety of different topics. Maybe what we've been reading this week for personal development, how our weeks went in our coaching business. We could chat about the National Wake Up Call if anybody watched that this week. Really, anything goes tonight. Also, if anyone has any questions that the group can chime in on and provide answers for, we can do that as well. So where would someone like to begin? Shelley?
Sure. So for personal development, the past week, because I typically do audiobooks because I haven't been able to make time to sit down and read, so I like audiobooks. So it's called Mind Hacking, How to Change Your Mind for Good in 21 Days. And that's by Sir John Hargrave. I don't know if it's showing up too bright, but anyway.
So for good, just to clarify, change your mind for good as in permanently or for good instead of evil?
Yes.
Okay.
Or, if evil is what you think is good, you can change it to that. It's all changing it to reach your goals. So basically retraining the way that your brain fires so that you are more positive and more focused. And being the little ADD bunny that I am, I've been trying to listen to every chapter twice before moving on to the next one because I'm so squirrel, and that's why I picked this one because I'm trying to fix that. So there is actual activities at the end of the chapters and I need to sit down and do those. So, but the content so far has been very interesting. It's more scientific than woo-woo because a lot of personal development I do is more woo-woo, spiritual stuff. So this is more brain chemistry and, physical steps to do things. So I'm finding it interesting.
So what has been like your biggest takeaway so far?
Just I was kind of blown away by how relatable someone who's a somebody. I was kind of expecting when it started out with him talking about the day the Secret Service showed up at his house because he thought it would be funny to get a credit card in Barack Obama's name. And that was the day that he decided he needed to stop drinking and get rid of the weed. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, you're so, but like I said, as far as the content goes, I really need to sit down and do the activities and then I'll have a bigger takeaway of what I think works. I haven't followed through with that yet, so.
It's interesting you're reading that because I got this book, Get Over Your Damn Self,
I want to read that one. That's on my list.
from Melanie Bolin, our upline coach, for completing the alpha training. And in one of the first chapters of the book, Romy Neustadt talks about how you can retrain your brain and how the brain is elastic. Let me find this here because I wasn't planning on this. I think it was in the last chapter. But it was just really, it's really, really cool. A lot of people, really believe that they cannot change the way that they perceive things or the way they think about something. Or, I know what she talked about in reference to. She talked about retraining your brain to think of things that you would normally fear as pleasurable and not doing something that you fear as being unpleasurable. And she related it to, the fear of talking to somebody in the Starbucks line, and, if you overheard them, depending, well, I guess in our case, if you heard somebody say that they've been struggling with, emotional eating or losing weight or, not be, thinking of talking to them, not talking to them as being, painful and not pleasurable, as opposed to, talking to them and that being a pleasurable experience where the reverse might be true. And she says, because the brain is elastic, you can actually convince it and change through your behaviors how it perceives those, which a lot of us think of as fight or flight situations. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Did you ever read Brave New World?
No, I haven't read Brave New World.
It reminded me of that. We had to read it in school, and I always get the author wrong. I always think it's like Alex Hurley. It's something similar to that. But it was when babies were generated, they weren't made the old-fashioned way. They were made in factories, and they would be separated with ones that were going to be the workers. So anytime a baby got near a book, they'd zap it so that it learned that books were scary and not to do that. And then other ones they'd train to be the smart one, and right. Just how their brains were all somewhat similar, but it was how they were trained and what they were taught would bring pleasure or pain or, so that's what it reminded me of when you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So what else is going out in everybody's coaching world? Any other personal development going on? Any developments in anyone's business?
I wish.
Anybody watch anyway? I had coffee with somebody today from church, and they have to wait till they get paid on Monday, but they're going to be investing in Shakeology Home Direct. So I thought that was pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And, this is probably one of the most unlikely people that would ever do it, but you just never know.
Did you bring her a sample?
No, she's never had a sample. No.
Oh.
She's just observed my transformation, and we've known each other at church for a while, and we ran into each other after Mass on Saturday, and she asked me about the shakes, and I gave her my card, and we set a date to have coffee today, and it just happened. So yeah,
that's why we should decide for people and say they'd never do it, because you never know.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. You just plant the seeds and be a product of the product, and things do happen that way. Absolutely. So anybody? Yes, Lisa.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is this thing that's going on in May? It was up on Instagram from Mr. Deichler, and it's talking about a nutritional program.
Oh, right. The 2B mindset.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
that's actually Well, I'll let somebody else talk, but basically that's a new program where fitness is optional. It's perfect for people that are not ready for fitness, and it's not a diet. It's a program that helps them change their mindset about food, and
Kind of like what Shelley was talking about, it would be a good book to go with it.
yeah, it would actually. And fitness isn't like completely out of the picture in that program, but it's considered extra credit. So for people that are, who at this point say I hate exercise, I don't like exercise, I can't exercise because my doctor says I can't, or I have a disability because I can't exercise. This is a program that helps people retrain their brains on healthy approaches to food, overcoming emotional eating, and helps them kind of really simplifies and helps them understand how to get into clean eating and
Some people would be interested in.
yeah, and it's really cool. It's not going to be part of Beachbody on demand. It'll be on that platform, but it'll be separate from. They'll pay $99 for it, and then they have lifetime access to it. But it won't give them access to Beachbody, anything else on Beachbody on demand.
Mm-hmm. What about vice versa? The people that have Beachbody on demand.
You pay extra for the fitness
extra.
app. That's where it's going to be.
But between May 2nd and June 2nd or June something, we'll be able to buy it at a discount, invest into it at a discount, and then after that it'll go up to the $99 price. Of course, we'll get it with our regular coach discount, but it'll only be like $74 or $75 if we get in early. And then we also will have the early access to it. So
We get to be beta testers.
yeah, basically. So anybody else have anything to add on that score? Because there's lots, there's lots more. But that's just kind of a basic overview.
For the 2B mindset?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was on a call with the creator of it,
Mm-hmm.
and what she was saying is I think there's 26 videos, and it's everything from going grocery shopping with her to cleaning out your pantry, seeing how to keep your kitchen in a certain way that will make you more successful, like how to put the food where you're going to see it and grab it first. It's all very interesting, training your brain to grab the good stuff first. So.
Yeah. And her whole approach is, her whole pitch actually is that, and what'll make it appealing to people is that they don't have to give up their favorite foods. They don't have to give up food groups. They can still drink, they still can have their glass of wine or their cocktail or their pizza, but her whole approach to healthy eating produces weight loss. And the other cool thing is that if you're an early adopter, if you as a coach, if you buy it, you'll get into a private group with Alana, and really will get a behind the scenes look into it before the general public really will probably get into it. So
and she lost over 100 pounds doing this.
Yeah.
So she has, it's not just she went to school to be a nutritionist, dietitian, and came up with this. This was her personal experience as well. So,
yeah. Which fits perfectly into our Beachbody culture. I mean,
yes,
she's a product of her product.
Yeah, it's not do as I say, not as I do. It's I'm doing it too. So. And
it's been I don't know, the people that are in the sizzle video for it. I mean, were they the test group, or were these people that she worked? I mean, that's the one thing I don't understand.
I would guess they're test group people. That's normally who they use because talking to Beachbody about this for 2 years, so that would give enough time to get the test group together. And because Beachbody always goes every dotting the i's and crossing the t's before they release anything. So
yeah, I was a little when I first heard about this, I was a little bit skeptical, but it really will fill an important niche in in our coaching businesses when you think about it. And it's actually the perfect segue in a way to get people into fitness, because once they get all this bad stuff out of their lives, fitness is really a natural progression, unless of course you're someone who has physical limitation,
Yeah.
But
sorry, I'm cold.
What's that?
I said sorry, I'm cold.
Oh.
But no, I think that's great, because I think that some of my customers who, are older and, are trying to get back in, and this would be a good segue, to getting back on the wagon, as it were. So.
Yeah. And this is really kind of a wonderful way, to help people not settle, not settle, not accept defeat. I do a lot of things, being a 58-year-old woman, I do a lot of thinking about, if I had settled, where would I be right now?
Mm-hmm.
And we live so much longer now, even if we get sick because of the very unpopular in this group pharmaceutical industry, people, they don't have a lot of quality of life, but they still live longer, and it's like this really fits and fills a nice niche to help people realize that they don't have to settle. And it would help a lot of people get off a lot of these terrible drugs that they're on.
Mm-hmm. And not only the drugs, but the sugar and bad food. There's so many things that are slowly killing people.
Yeah, and totally. And it's we harp so much on sugar, but white flours are equally horrible, if not more horrible than sugar complex carbohydrate. It creates as many or more inflammations, bad inflammations in the body. We don't talk about that enough. We just sugar is the thing we focus on most, but I guess it's one bite of the elephant, kind of time. Get people off sugar first, and then slowly convince them to. Well, although, if you get people off sugar is in a lot of processed foods that contain flour. So, so I guess by association, you get people away from a lot of that in the process.
And the thing is too, it's not uncommon for somebody to sit down in front of the TV with a thing of Oreos, or what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you can sugar, but you're not going to be getting hamburger buns. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like maybe that's why we're so focused on the sugar first. Yeah. But I stopped with the white flour when I started 80-Day Obsession in January. So other than the refeed days, I haven't had it at all.
Yeah.
And it's like makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think Alana in her program though teaches people how to read labels too.
Yes.
And when you become a label reading ninja, and you start experiencing those changes in your body, where you start feeling like really good when you start eliminating this stuff from your the way that you eat. I think a natural consequence of that is that more people will be more conscious of what they actually put in their bodies, and in the process they'll stop eating a lot of this stuff. I mean, my husband and I, before I started eating clean and drinking Shakeology, I mean, we would go through half a bag of cookies or a whole bag of cookies in one sitting without even thinking about it, without breaking a sweat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did a post on my page about this too, because on day 1 of 80-Day Obsession, I was planning what I was going to be eating on day 81. Everything I was giving up over the next couple months, I was going to have nachos, and I was going to have this, and I was going to have that.
Right.
Day 81, I ate the way I had been eating for 80 days and I haven't stopped. I was thrilled when I saw that the program I'm doing now, I'm in the same food group and I can keep my schedule. I'm like, yes, I love it. Like, because I'm so used to it now that
Right.
it's my
That's
thing.
why it's 80 days.
Yeah, and my daughter started eating what I've been eating for breakfast, the spinach eggs with the Ezekiel toast. She asked me to make her that. They've all been asking for Shaco. And Dave went out yesterday and got burgers and fries on his way home. And he was like, I can't eat it anymore because he's been eating so clean. It was just like, he's like, I can't go back. I can't do it. So,
Right.
and I didn't tell anybody they had to do what I was doing. It's
No.
just, you definitely have a ripple effect on your loved ones when you change what you're doing.
Yeah, totally. And when they start eating that way, they retrain their taste buds. And then when they go back, I was telling, Katie, this woman I talked to today, and then when you have that cheat meal and you eat something, fast food or at a restaurant or whatever, you can taste how awful it really is.
Yep.
Oh.
And that's the thing. It's probably been, I mean, it's been years. I don't know how many years since we've done fast food, like the big chains we haven't done in forever,
Right.
and then we were still doing the pizza delivery place. We don't do that anymore. We don't do the Chinese food anymore. Every time we try to get it, we're like, never mind, just because we've retrained what our bodies want.
Yeah.
And that was like what we ate before all the time. So
Yeah, totally.
it's healthier, but we're also saving a whole lot of money.
Oh, big time. Big time. So, yeah, so that's pretty exciting. That comes out next week. And Amethyst, do you have any questions since last week?
I got I got some questions. I always have questions.
Okay, fire
How
away.
you learn? Ask
Fire
away.
away. You got 10 minutes. We got the 10-minute warning.
No, I got the after party.
Well, yes, we can continue in the after party for sure. But anyway, shoot.
Well, I was talking, it's kind of along the tax stuff again, though. But
Well, we have our resident tax expert here, so.
well, I was talking to my friend because he owns a small business, and he was asking if I had insurance. Do you guys have insurance?
Insurance for
Small business insurance?
I guess because
Independent contractors?
like, has anybody? He was like, you need to ask if anybody's ever been sued. Like, has anybody ever been sued? Being a Beachbody coach.
Well, see, this is very good information because there are disclaimers that we're supposed to be putting at the bottom of all of our posts that we say, like what Shakeology does, and then you have to put the FDA has not approved this statement, blah, 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 blah. And anything that you say about money, you're supposed to put the disclaimer about Beachbody does not guarantee any, there's a whole big legal thing about we don't guarantee you can make money too. It's based on your skill and your time and your, whatever. So those in theory are there to protect us from lawsuits. Now, anybody can sue anybody over anything anymore. But
Right.
at least if you have that, that's saying you're at least trying to let them be aware of the situation.
Yeah.
Don't
But
all
I've never heard of a Beachbody coach with insurance, honestly.
do what? I'm sorry. I didn't
I've
hear
never heard of anybody ever mentioning that before.
No.
Me neither.
And I don't even know what they would word the insurance as. You know what I mean? Like, how can they
Like
I'm
liability?
ensuring that someone's not going to misconstrue my words? But
Has anybody done anything in which they incorporated into an LLC instead of a individual? And then
Yeah.
separate yourself individually from the company. So if somebody sues, they sue you. But we belong to Beachbody. So if we follow their rules and regulations, aren't we covered under their umbrella?
No.
no.
No, we're independent.
Okay. We're independent.
Independent
can we
Beachbody
incorporate
coaches.
into an LLC?
Of course you can. Anybody can. In fact, it's always a good idea if you're going to be a business owner, you put all your business assets into, I got 3 LLCs, so I diversify my risk.
Yep. And
There you go.
Daniel Natoni was talking about that too, how you should have, you know, the LLC, and then you should have a separate credit card that you only use for business stuff. And you should, you know, like separating your
Separate bank accounts,
business.
separate everything, separate
Yeah.
expenses and bank accounts, and share all that stuff.
Yeah.
So all that with Beachbody should be separate, and it should be an LLC.
It's up to you. You can, that option is there. I've never heard of a Beachbody coach being sued, but that is possible because we're independent. We're not covered under Beachbody's insurance because they're our partner, and it's a partnership basically. So yeah, that's up to you. If you want to incorporate, you can. Totally up to you.
What do you guys think?
I have not gotten an LLC. I have not gotten a separate bank account. I have not gotten a separate credit card. Yeah.
What I haven't figured out yet is how, as a sole proprietor with my own little company name, how that relates to Beachbody. I would love to find that out. Because right now it's just sitting over there doing nothing because I closed my old website. And I don't know how it relates to it. I just keep paying my taxes every year.
No, like Tom said, it's a partnership. So we don't work for Beachbody. They don't work for us. We work together as separate. And so basically we're partnered with them. So that's why we pay our coaching fee and all this, so that they can be the ones that send out the things from their warehouses, and we don't have to have that, you know, and they have the websites that they give us. That's all part of our coaching fee. We're paying them for those services, and they're using us to just, you know, bring about more business for their service. You know, does that make sense?
They provide all the infrastructure.
Beachbody to be under the umbrella of my sole proprietorship of M. Lisa K. I should have my sole proprietorship be the coach.
Yes.
Okay, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
Sole proprietorship just means that it's in your personal name. So
Yeah.
like if you told somebody Shakeology is going to heal you of cancer and you're going to make $1 million doing
Oh,
Beachbody,
yeah, they'd be at me.
they could turn around and sue you personally. Now, if you put that into an LLC, then they would sue the LLC and they couldn't touch you personally. But
No, the LLC is so much safer.
yeah, but in my opinion, there's really not too much to worry about unless you're going to make egregious claims like that. So I don't really think it's all that important if somebody incorporates this business or not. As long as you're not exposing yourself legally, then it could still happen. But man, the odds are like 1,000,000 to 1 because I've never heard of a Beachbody coach being sued, including coaches I'm sure that are out there that do make egregious claims like that.
Right.
That's good to know. I mean, we do have it all over the product as well.
Yeah.
There are disclaimers all over.
And that protects Beachbody. So even though you're selling that product that has all those disclaimers, you personally could still make a claim or say something completely illegal, which well, then you expose yourself to litigation. So
And the other thing is too, everything having the 30-day money back guarantee, you know, you can always throw that out too. Well, if you're not happy, send it back, get your money back. You know, like it's not, if it didn't do for you what I said, then send it back and get your money back. You know what I mean? There are those protective things.
Even the empty bag.
What's
But
that?
then you got some people that hear what they want to hear, because I was talking to someone and I said, oh, you know, like I said, it helped my eczema, and he wanted to know what it was. And then I told him, I said, well, you know, it can help support your immune system and blah, 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 blah. I never said it was going to cure anything. And then when he saw the price, he goes, oh, well, that's kind of expensive just a cure for eczema. But I never told him that it was going to cure it.
No.
So,
well, that's life. You say one thing, somebody hears something else.
I was going to say that's going to happen 100 million trillion times.
like against keyword then, right?
What's that?
Huh?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, then that's your word against their word.
And you can get into pissing matches with people like that all the time. Like, it's not worth it. Just
Well, Amethyst, look at it this way. If it's typed out, then it's not their word against yours. It's black and white typed out. Like if you ever ended up in court or something, you got the transcript, it's black and white. You said, it helped me. And they said, it cured. No, it didn't. Here's the proof. Now, if you're talking about a phone call, well, then it's their word against yours. And when somebody makes a positive claim, the burden of proof is on them.
Right.
In which case, they probably wouldn't even find a lawyer to take their case because it would be a loser.
exactly. We're down to 1.5 minutes already. That went so fast.
I know.
It was
Anybody?
great information too for something that was just impromptu. That was good.
Yeah.
The lucky band shirts.
I know.
Okay, I do not have a band shirt, but I do have
A
the
team
Bears,
shirt.
and
The
they did come
Bears.
out with the Super Bowl Shuffle in
Yeah.
1985.
Yes.
I remember that year.
I
I was
remember
in
that.
I was in elementary school.
Oh,
I was
shut
10.
up.
Sweetness in the fridge, everybody out there dancing,
I had just moved to Chicago.
Nice.
I need
That
to
was an
find a
exciting
really.
year.
I need
in elementary school. What?
I need to find a really old picture of me with my King Diamond shirt with the sleeves cut off.
There you
Nice.
go.
It's a fatal portrait one.
Ooh, that's an old one.
We were actually standing in line meeting him is when that one picture was taken. I have it somewhere.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
I want to see that.
I gotta
Right.
find it. It's got the whole 80s hairstyle too.
Oh, I've got some of those. All right. See you guys in the after party. Woo-hoo!